Good morning, Standard 2. Today we're going to be looking at adding centimeters and millimeters. So if I have an instruction here that tells me add 5 centimeter 3 millimeter plus 2 centimeter 9 millimeter, it would be a bit difficult if I just try to add across, because if I add 9 millimeter and 3 millimeter, I'm going to get 12 millimeter. And I need to remember that 10 millimeter is 1 centimeter. So I will have to add 1 centimeter to this house and then use the remainder. So the easiest way for us to do this is for us to convert the measurements to millimeter. So step 1 would be convert to millimeters, and we already know how to do that. We already know how to convert that. So I'm gonna write 5 centimeter 3 millimeter. Okay, and that gives me 53 millimeter. Now remember, we know how to do this. We would draw the two lines. This is 50 millimeter, 3 millimeter. We plus it, we get 53 millimeter. And then I have 2 centimeter 9 millimeter, and that is equal to 29 millimeter. Now that they are both the same measurement, it makes it so much easier for me to add it. So now I can just add because they're all the same. They're both converted to millimeters, so it's so much easier to add. So I will call myself 9 and I'll add 3. Remember, adds up to 9. Everything's fine. 10 or more, take the extra next door. So the answer is actually 12. So I have to take the extra next door. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So my answer is 82 millimeter. And then I move on to step 2. Convert back to centimeter and millimeter. So my answer, I need to convert this, would be 8 centimeter to millimeter. Now what if I had something that said, okay, Ronaldo has a string that measures at 10 centimeter 1 millimeter in length. And then I can put William has a string that measures at 2 centimeter 11 millimeter. Now I have to convert everything to millimeter so that I could add. So that's my step 1. And I'm just gonna shorten it. Turn to millimeter. So I'm gonna put my first measurement here, 10 centimeter 1 millimeter, and I'm just gonna do that so that I can convert it. So 10 times 10, because 10 millimeter is 1 centimeter, is 100 millimeter, and 10 times 1, and then I just have 1 millimeter. And then I need to add these two together. So in millimeter, this is actually 101 millimeter. So I converted this one. Okay, so I converted this one to millimeter. So it's 101 millimeter. Now I need to convert this one to millimeter as well. So I'm gonna write that here. 2 centimeter 11 millimeter. Okay, so 2 times 10 is 20 millimeter. And then I just have 11 millimeter. Now it's okay for me to write my 11 because I'm going to add them together and I'm going to get everything in millimeter. I don't have to switch this over to centimeter to make it 3. I'm going to do that after I add everything together. So if I go ahead and I add this up, I'm going to get 31 millimeter. So step 1, I convert these two measurements that I have to millimeter. So I just turned them to millimeter. 10 centimeter, 1 millimeter is 101 millimeter. 2 centimeter, 11 millimeter is 31 millimeter. Now I need to add the two of them together now that they're both the same length. So, you know, feel free to set up your paper the best way you can. I'm gonna write it over here so that I can line it up and make sure that I'm adding it correctly. So 1 and 1, 2 adds up to 9, everything's fine. Adds up to 9, everything's fine. So this is millimeter. Then I also have a step 2, convert back to centimeter and millimeter. So I need to convert it back to centimeter and millimeter so that I can give my answer. So let me write step 2 here. Convert back to centimeter and millimeter. So I need to convert this back. So this is going to be 13 centimeter to millimeter. 13 centimeter to millimeter. So my answer is 13 centimeter to millimeter. Always know that you're going to be using the first number or the first two numbers as the centimeter, and then the remaining will be millimeter. We have already practiced how to convert to centimeter and millimeter, so you should be able to do that. And then my question was asking, how much do they have all together? So I can put all together. They have 13 centimeter to millimeter of string. There we go. So we just went through how to add centimeter and millimeter. Let's review. Step 1, turn these all to millimeter so that you can add it easily. And step 2, after you finish adding it, turn it back to centimeter and millimeter. You need to answer in the measurement that they gave you. So turn it back to centimeter, millimeter, and then you just answer your question. But today we're going to be practicing how to add centimeter and millimeter without the word problem.